Well, here we go. It's wide open. We got 1 day and 35 food plots. It's go time.
So Cody, there's two good examples of, clover and what they can do. I mean, I always say if you get one opportunity at a year, you did your job.
Yeah.
Don't expect 2 or 3.
Right.
DJ just proved us all wrong, though,
Yeah.
right? I mean, he made it work out. But
That's right.
there's somebody out there that's watching this show that's got ADHD right now, and they're getting the jitters, and they're like, man, you just got to tell me how to get this clover established.
Yeah.
So Backwoods makes a blend that just came out this year.
Yep, new this year.
You guys have tried to move some blends around to make them simple. Instead of having a lot of different blends, now we're trying to make them more simple. And so if I remember, it's called Ignite, right?
Ignite. And so the thought behind it, a lot of times it just gets complicated. And we talk about it, you're just, everybody's working full-time jobs. You're trying to, still have a good place to hunt. It's just a lot going on. And we've talked about Clover Deluxe, and then you throw out, well, put you a big 3 in there, wheat oats, right? Whatever the case may be. And of course, that's one thing that's so awesome about Backwoods and having this team that's really behind it. The mindset at the office is the same. It's constantly, if we're asking them to go to 2 different things to put it together, let's fix it.
Yeah,
Right.
Let's make it like,
Exactly.
hey, a customer comes to you and says, Blair, I want to buy into the clover.
Yeah.
So what do I need to plant? Now the answer is Ignite.
Absolutely.
Now, it's not this and this. It's
Right.
Ignite is the right place to start and then go from there.
Yeah, and with Ignite, you're going to get what DJ definitely mentioned on, and I couldn't agree with him anymore. But when you plant a perennial clover such as Ladino, it takes time to get it established. You've got to protect it, right?
Yeah.
If not, as soon as it pops up, deer are bad to uproot it.
Yeah.
So if you put a good blend of cereal grains with it, and the thing I like about Ignite is Backwoods is more committed to putting in not necessarily the cheapest blend of seeds,
Yep.
but like, for example, the Elbon Rye. Elbon Rye is a little more expensive than just some wheat blends.
Yep.
Elbon Rye also will grow at soil temperatures down to around 36, 38 degrees,
Yep.
where wheat's really around 50 to 52 degrees. So if you're hunting a plot and you're hunting in January or December, if it's in the Midwest and it's colder, and you're like, everything looks like this, well, if you planted an 85%, 90% wheat blend, don't expect much more than that. Because guess
It's not
what?
gonna grow anymore.
It's not designed to grow in that colder
sure.
conditions. But if
Right.
you've got that that cereal rye that you guys put in there,
Yep.
then you're going to get a boost there. And then also there's some chicory that's going to come on, and there's some other annual clovers that's going to aid that clover the first year, and then will even grow, even much more in the next spring.
Well, that blend was really designed off of all the conversations at this table, and it's because if you go in and you plant, honestly, you say it all the time, and DJ said it today, Ladino, when you put it in the ground, think next year. Like
That's right,
you almost
for sure.
you almost disregard that seed for this year. Now you'll get some benefits from it, but that's your next year play. And so with Ignite was having, you obviously, if you're going that route, you wanted clover, so you're putting your annuals in it. Then it's like, okay, how do we protect it? Which goes to your point of your cereal grains. And so that was this entire blend. Now, when somebody comes to anybody here or one of our reps or a dealer's like, hey, customer wants to, start a clover field, Ignite. It's
Absolutely.
simple.
Yeah.
Plant it, and then go into what you said. January, February, come in. If you're, up north, you can frost seed it or whatever the case, or here, go back, put 8 pounds an acre, broadcast it in, and that you're rolling that right into your clover with ease. And
Absolutely.
you're not having to do the chemistry in your head of, I need to put this with this.
Something to live for. Something to live for. You can tear me down, but I'm gonna stick around. Something to live for.
Like on your hunt, Cody, I mean, y'all were hunting the fields and hunting the feed.
Well, I mean, it's
because
rut.
it was right at the beginning of the rut.
Yep, it was a touch early, and when we normally go, it'd be first week of November. Well, the kind of the way the dates fell, it was going to be that October 26th through November 2nd. And it was actually Chris picked the dates. And so he thought, anyway, Chris didn't draw. And I wasn't supposed to draw, and I drew. So he's like, well, here's the dates. And I'm like, dang, Chris, you could have picked, November 5th.
Yeah.
It's like, right through Halloween. But we've also all been there. You're on your phone looking at social media, and it's like October 31st. God, look what it's starting. It can happen anytime. So anyway, we go, and Peanut, he's like, hey, I'm gonna put you on a farm. It's one of the farms we've hunted the longest, even before he had it. And I knew the farm really well. I was kind of the first one when he picked it up and he said, hey, figure it out. And so it was a rough year that year because I pretty much blew the whole farm scouting it, but trying to hunt it.
Oh, he did, didn't he, Chris?
And so, anyway, but since then, that's been the best thing that happened because like Chris is killed, everybody has.
You figured out what not to do.
So
And
you
so-
sacrifice so they can kill.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, but I knew exactly. He said, there's a big 9 in there. There's several other shooters. But the 9 point, he kept saying like, hey, this is a really good deer. And on trail cameras, he looked nice. So we move in, and it was kind of I knew the farm really well. So a creek runs through the middle of it, and I know we're early. So I'm like, well, I'm not going into where we've all shot, that area. I said, I'm going to kind of sit back and figure it out. Well, first evening, sitting on a back cove, and one of the first deer, I was like, dude, there's a 9, and he is, just like Peanut said, he is way bigger than I thought. Like just a stud, and he's on the other side of the creek. Game changer, that's all he's said. He's got game changer here, he's got game changer in another cove, and then across the creek. So it's 3 spots, that is straight game changer. And he's getting pictures, regular. And where I'm sitting in this cove is the most pictures. But they're nighttime. It's, last of October.
Still a little bit warm.
Yeah, and it's hot. Well, we're watching the weather, and it's showing Halloween, November 1st, there's this major front. And I was like, we're just going to have to, even though we got 6 or 7 days, we've got to be patient. So me and Hunter, we're sitting there, we see him, and I'm looking, knowing he's walking by a ladder stand. Like, he's going to cross the creek, and he goes, and Hunter's like, what do you think? I said, man, we can't, not yet. So we went to another spot, hunted, didn't see a whole lot. It's like, let's just go back to the cove. He's still on camera every night, but it's not, I wouldn't judge the camera, the pictures off of, hey, he's killable right now, on a feed site.
You just know he's there.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so I know he's staying in the area. So anyway, a couple days I bounce around outskirts. Like morning hunts, I'm being super safe. I'm hunting. If anything, if I mess it up, it's helping. Something else.
Yeah.
Really zero. And if it happens, it happens.
He's pretty much living on an island.
That's it. Yeah.
It's got water pretty much all the way
And
around.
so,
wow.
doing some way off decoy plays, if I catch him, that kind of deal. Well, the weather's getting closer and closer and closer. Well, the weather hits, we're all fired up. It's I can't remember exactly, high 30s. And so I'm like, man, it's going to be on this evening. Slow, really slow. And I'm like, dadgum, I thought it would have hit. Still windy, blowing the front through. Well, the next morning went, and it was still kind of some drizzle rain, whatever. That afternoon, went back to the cove, and it was, you always, I guess I've seen it some, but this is like a true light switch. We're sitting there, same stand, been there 5 days now, and watching. Here comes a doe, here comes a buck. Here comes a buck cruising, another buck cruising, another buck. I'm like, hadn't seen him. And it's like, that's the 10, that's the 9. I'm like, it's chaos. So I look over across the creek, same spot. There he is. I said, there's the 9. Well, I'm like, he's got to come over here. We've got deer chasing all in the, it's a cut bean field. I said, he's coming over. Well, I look ahead of him, and he's got a doe. And she's going the other way. I was like, okay, so he's locked down with her. We know the play, and I'm looking at the weather, and the next morning is no wind and like 26. And I said, we're going in. We're going to go to the timber. We're going to that ladder set, and it's like it's feast or famine at this point. Well, of course, me and Hunter, we're like, two girls giddy. It's like, dude, this is the best morning of the year. This is it. And get in there, it starts breaking daylight. like Chris always says, frost on a pumpkin, man. I mean, we're on pins and needles. Nobody's moving. Nothing. It is completely dead. And I'm like, dude, there ought to be. I just watched 7 bucks run in this
Oh, yeah.
one block of timber last night, dog and does, and there's nothing. Anyway, catch a glimpse across the creek, and I'm like, Hunter, there he is.
Got away with it there. They're easing home. That's good. 9:15. Finally seen something that's been dead. Bob, Hunter, across the creek. That's him, no doubt. Same place he was yesterday up on that ridge. Kind of on the back of the field edge. See it? Just wait. Behind that thick stuff, yeah. I can't call to him there. It's too open. We gotta get him on this side. He's going to the right. Let him get in this thick stuff, and then once he gets past us, I'll call, see if he'll come across. Smelling where we walk down. Here he comes. Coming up. Right by the orange ribbon. Come on, sucker. Here he comes. He's coming. Got him. Got him. Got him. Got him. Got him. It's a touchback. Center, quartered away. We just killed the big 9. We just killed the big 9, baby. Oh, he throws. We just buried it in the big 9 at 42 yards, baby. Hey, hit him with them little burl. That's a freaking stud. Dude, I took my time. Quartered away. I sat there. I said, do not rush it. I settled at 40. Bottom third, and I let it eat. And it sunk, didn't it?
It sunk. I think he's quartered away. I think it's good. I mean, he come out of there hurt.
Dude, I ranged this tree 25, next tree was 30, or that log was like 34, and he's a couple steps past. I mean, I was like, dude, he's 40 all day. And I'm talking about, it was sitting solid, son. And I went, like, last rib is what I was aiming at. And it, I mean, sunk up in the big 9, baby.
Dude, that's the best one I've ever really used.
Oh, son. My boy Chris, I got the shaky lash. Thank you, Lord, man. Thank you, Lord. Peanut. Peanut. I got blood. So he came right up here. Do what? He's got the deer. Yeah, here's blood through here, honey. Peanut's already found it. You got it? I just found the first drop of blood. Yeah, as soon as I got kind of going down the bottom, you said you were gonna walk the top, and there was blood right there. And then I thought I got it. I was like, you got it, dude. Thank you. That's awesome. Oh. He's stiff, ain't he? Cool. Holy cow, dude.
A lot more kickers.
Kickers and mass. Like I didn't see any of that like in the pictures.
Little acorn for you on this thing.
This crap, like I hadn't seen any of that. I done seen him 5, 6, 7 times. Super long tines, long beams. That is a old Kansas buck. Unbelievable. That was, me and Hunter talked about after we shot, because we just wanted to sit there and let it get quiet, whatever, and then ease out as quiet as we could. Like I said, first thing I saw was smoked it. And then we started watching the footage back, his angle's different. I started doubting myself. But, I mean, there is no doubt he ran to right here, and we were still in the tree, and he was dead. When I got up to him, of course, he's way bigger. He was mid-60s as a slick 9 with nothing else.
It's a stud.
And you had that aspect, but the whole, we've talked about it several episodes, but, the bear, all the different deer, but I didn't have years of history with him. It wasn't that, but playing that Midwest game of, I knew that was where to kill him, but having to sit back until the right time. You made the mention of yes, every one of us will hunt timber, but if you bust in the timber every single day,
you're gonna blow 'em out.
it's going to blow them out.
Right.
But to go in one time, now I don't know how many sits I had. I may have had another sit left in there, but at some point I was going to change things.